Would you like to explain what we're doing now?
So we're here at a petrol station to
undisclosed
get
location.
our dear friend Haroon here a birthday cake because he will be turning 142 in the next
Bro, he's older than dust, bro.
Bro, him and Jesus went to the same
Bro, he's
school.
a hieroglyphic, bro.
Bro.
They got sandals named after him.
Oh, you know the Air Haroons. You know the Air Haroon 5s, bro.
Haroons, bro.
Bro. When Thanos snapped the dust, I was like, no, it's okay. It's okay.
Haroon didn't even blink, bro.
Haroon created.
You can't make dust twice.
Haroon created that bit in the sandal that separates the big toe from the rest of the toes.
Haroon's in the mummy, bro.
Haroon missed the mummy.
He's always wrapped up.
So, it's my birthday, turning 43. It is yet again a prime number plus a prime number. If you know the reference, you know. If you don't, pick up the book, press play. You can find it on Big White Shed. And right now, we are very, very late for my own headline. I seem to have the punctuality of an Indian groomsman at his own fucking baraat. I told you Devin would laugh. I can predict everything. Oh, except for the fact that I ended up taking the wrong turning when I'm driving. This is what happens when you're trying to be funny. You can't navigate. I can't navigate at the same time. Let's take a breath. Let's take a pause. You're going to see 6 poems. We're going to take you on a journey. There's going to be music. We're going to improvise. And yeah, I think I might just be channeling some spirits today. That could happen. That could happen. It's been an interesting day.
The time has come, ladies and gentlemen, for the first feature act of the evening. Coming up to the stage for Haroon Khan!
Get on the plane first. God rewards a bias for action. Journey across borders and continents and tread the earth gently, unlike those who forced us to abandon our lands. Once abundant and self-sufficient, now chief importers exacerbating deficits. Get on the plane first and breathe in the air. Free from dust, thick with prejudice and assumptions. Let your feet adjust to roads paved by cold weather and colder hearts. Make a home laced with anxious talk of involuntary repatriation. I was born of all of that. However, defeating anger is joyful. My resentment dissipates. You see, my elders focused on survival so I could thrive, their care intertwined with neglect and dysfunction. Hurt people hurt people. No more dwelling and no more looking over my shoulder. It's time to draw a line under all of that. Document it, process it, and then build. Press play to let the movie begin. Thank you. Tish is making jokes about my dirty timekeeping. I said to them earlier, I basically have the punctuality of an Indian groomsman at his baraat.
Of a peanut.
What's that?
He said peanut or something.
The punctuality of a
Peanut.
I don't really get that, so I won't pretend to laugh. But my brain is fried because I still need to make sure that I've got the set, and my word, driving in London is long. We shift the scenery. At the beginning, that was really a story about people like my father coming over here in the 70s to make a new home. And now we shift to East London, from the 1970s to the 1980s. And I'm sitting there staring into saucepans on lazy Sunday mornings, milk bubbles, aromatic tea leaves, cardamom. White full-fat milk turns brown. No kettles, liberated from London's hard water, born of this island's hardened hearts. Milk softens hearts and it softens calluses that were originally formed in response to partition. Once again, at the mercy of oppressors, lecturing us on cricket tests. Colonizers may innovate sports, but those of us in the diaspora with melanin in our skin, we perfect and subvert them. The empire strikes back, always. Lacquered spheres spun uniquely like my Ummi Jan's tails, and my Nana Jan is just breaking off the chapatis. He's soaking them up in shorba, that bone broth infused goodness. It's swimming in ghee, and that ghee clogs my arteries. But each morsel that my Nana Jan feeds me expands my heart. And then he follows it up with buttered toast, and he dips it into that doodh patti. Doesn't matter. Some of that bread breaks off. Just scoop it up with your hands, or if you're really, really fussy, get yourself a teaspoon. It's tea. No water, milk. Pour the milk into a saucepan. Just add the leaves loose. Don't even use a tea bag. Add the cardamom. It's tea, not like anything you've experienced here in England. Remixed and reimagined. Our oppressors lack imagination. We lack inhibition. Fingers, palms, knuckles, all create multiple touch points, caressing tabla skins. Poetry recited in Newham and songs sung in Tower Hamlets after a long day of exploitative labour. Slow crawls to Green Street with my Ummi Jan to pick up coriander or dhania, call it whatever you want. It's freshly picked, and that sensory overload, it simply folds time and space. But all good things have to come to an end, and I end up back at my Ummi Jan's flat. I'm only 5 years old, so at that height, at eye level, all I can spot is just empty milk bottle after empty milk bottle on the table, kitchen top. My first thought, no milk for my crunchy nut cornflakes. I'm bereft. Unable to regulate my emotions or my reactions. Looking back now, there were some early warning signs there. We've got 3 generations of family in this country for the first time, so survival was prioritised. The reason why my Nana Jan had no milk was because he was creating daily reminders in his saucepan of who we really are. Because being English isn't what got us here. Thank you.
It's like on the top of a pool hall, which is kind of unique. Yeah,
The fact that there's even a pool hall existing in 2024.
Yeah, most of them are now
something else.
gone. Yeah.
What is it? What's a pool hall?
Pool hall, you know, like billiards.
Ah,
Yeah.
right. Pool hall.
उर्दू में क्या कहते हैं या हिंदी में पूल खेलना
पता नहीं, I guess it's just called pool only. I don't know the.
आवारगर्दी
आवारगर्दी.
You need to give them the meaning so you can do the
Avargardi
subtitles.
is like shenanigans.
Ooh, you know what? Let's talk in Hindi and then he can subtitle it.
Why are you making my life hell? I can't translate.
No, I'll translate.
Yeah.
My life has been one constant exercise in redirection. Who am I? I'm Haroon, a Pakistani man living in Great Britain. Not only do we love tea, but we love food. Me personally, I love eggs. My favourite staple. Versatile and a binding force. 1 minute Lauryn Hill and the next the Fugees. I craft a peculiar omelette for my Desi daughter. Slightly burnt and garnished with green chilies, sprinkled with seasoning. I remember her order keenly. However, this morning, she's flipped the tables on me, greeting me with that Jack Nicholson grin with the spatula in her hand. Pancakes, her weapon of choice. Fluffy, made from the best brown shell eggs, deep, rich orange yolks, satiating. The pancakes rise, and she sketches my initials on mine with honey. I add a dash of lemon, sweet and tart, just like my daughter. How apt. My daughter's reciprocity, a balm I constantly reapply to ease the pain of separation and to overwrite the memory of that final goodbye at the boarding gate. All that from eggs, believe it or not. Thank you. So I've talked a little bit about other people. And sometimes it can get very overwhelming just dealing with all of those different experiences and emotions. The thing that helps me is a little bit of scaffolding, just to keep me in place, a little bit of structure. I have a monthly routine. Once a month, I step out of my house on a Saturday morning, and it's England, so it's cold. Cold air just slapping my face. But if I'm lucky, the sun kisses my skin too. And it's the same thing every time. A prompt start in Soho to get a trim. Getting my hair cut is my favourite form of self-care. And it starts the same way, with words exchanged over silk in a cup. I called it Builder's Brew. And if any of my cousins from across the pond are here, that's a milk with 2 sugars. Yep, these poems come with their own free interpreter. Deal with it. And that cup that my hairdresser pours me, it's a stimulant powered with empathy and kindness. I walk away lighter each time with my weight shed and my heart singing in perfect key. Middle C found, blindfolded. You see, instincts flow freely when facades are shed, like snakeskins decaying almost instantly. The past no longer exists. The future crafted lovingly in my present, gifting me light passage. Spirit now fuel efficient, ULEZ compliant. That's right, you heard me, Sergeant Khan. You're not going to get a single penny from me. ULEZ compliant in this world and the next. So give praise and give thanks and bear witness. And I always find myself in front of a beautiful crowd in Ramadan of all times. So I'm going to need you guys to work with me. Can you work with me? Say, mashallah. You think you've got a moment to work with me one more time? Say, alhamdulillah. Now I'm being really cheeky with your goodwill. One last time. Say, subhanallah. Smile. Brownie points for laughing with your whole body. Wherever you pass through, please, please, and please leave thick residues of love. Thank you.
I wanted to say, in terms of the construction of your set, like, how does, obviously different artists have different methodologies or approaches to creating a set.
Yeah.
So what was your intention? Was there like an arc thing, or was there just, you know, kind of like seamlessly joining similar poems together? Or what was...
So it's interesting, it was organic. So for example, the very first headline I did, which incidentally you gave me that opportunity when you got allowed to do an edition of BYOB, Bring Your Own Bars, which is the night that you and I have now taken over from the poet Soft Spoken. I remember you gave me that opportunity, and I think then it was very much like I had an arc. It was, you know, mental health, and look how far I've come. And I think, you know, there was definitely like I was trying to give you a movie in 3 acts. I think for me, I never want to repeat. I say never. I should be very careful what I put on camera and say with such strong language that doesn't give me any leeway or wiggle room. But I want to try not to repeat myself. So I think I could have very easily gone for an a cappella set, and I could have done certain poems that I just know at this point are quite easy for me to do. So the rationale for the set was, I knew I wanted musicians. I had spoken with Ty, who is the founder, the guy who runs Wordzoo, which is the night that we've just come back from tonight. It was, he said, look, we've got a live band and they're going to improvise off of what you do. So I was like, look, rehearsals. You know, there's that perfectionist in me. There's, I guess, you know, the autism of just wanting to try and reduce the number of unknowns. He's like, no, we're strictly improvisers up in here. So I talked to Tish. We sat down and we actually just went through the entire book, Press Play. We went through it, we mapped out themes, and we tried to figure out how can we give people a blend and a flavour of sort of different things. And so, literally, we came up with the idea of like parenthood, identity, love and grief, and navigation. So I like to collaborate as an artist. I think that's my thing, is I don't come in and just sort of say this is how it's going to be and just want everyone to bend to my will. Like, if I take collaborators on, it's because I'm a fan of the work, and as someone who's an artist and who's worked as a creative, and sometimes I've been very frustrated by the way I've not been given room to be myself and have agency. I always want to give that. It's a strange word, love. Who here's been in love recently? It's a really fucking quiet room when it comes to love. This is like, you want me to die on stage? That's fine. Yeah, it's never easy. Maybe some of you just don't want to talk about it out loud. That's fine. You're trying to be discreet in public. No one wants to get emotional. But I have something to say on love. Remember, things fall apart. Now, you could trace back to the roots, or you could simply delight at the challenge of putting the pieces back together, one by one, rearranged or reinterpreted. Everything, everywhere, all at once. My mind is a chaotic place. 299 thoughts splintered every which way. A cognitive kaleidoscope. My saving grace is a heart that radiates love like a Care Bear, pre-9 PM watershed mind. But let me sidestep to optimism, a recently acquired operating system requiring only minimal upgrades. I promise I will come clean when the time is right. Until then, I trust you to break bread with me at your leisure. Since we last met, I haven't sat idly. I've done some work on myself. My anxiety at a bare minimum, a testament to the distance I've travelled. But your objections are valid. I'll admit, in the past, my trajectory has been jarring. A Francois Truffaut-like jump cuts. However, if you're going to give me the camera, let me just push it in. Let's crop all the other distractions out and let's frame it perfectly. You remember that afternoon. Don't be coy. I know you remember. We were traipsing around London and all I could think was just, I want our hands to brush up against each other. Innocently, because I needed plausible deniability. Taking in the sights in Sierra whiskey with heat and humidity as constant companions. I do not care what the weatherman said. He gets paid even when he gets it wrong. That day, the thermometer lied. However, my frayed autistic heart does not. Forever calm in your presence. Home. Thank you. I want to basically play for bigger crowds. I'd love to be able to, get to a point where I'm playing at, festivals and yeah, I want to keep sort of pushing myself out there. I think for me, I want to make my work accessible and take it to as many people as is humanly possible. I think creative joy is what I'm looking for going forward. I think working on my physical and mental health. Who here is a writer, identifies as one, or if you don't identify as one because of imposter syndrome, by the way, fuck imposter syndrome. Who here writes? Anyone want to jump out and just, I don't know, give me a word or something. What does writing do for you?
Freedom. Therapy.
Freedom, therapy. Any others?
Smash up bus stops.
Smash up bus stops.
Control.
I'm going to stay literally not within like a 3 feet radius of you. Love. Just saying.
Look for ISIS. Percolation.
I can definitely tell I'm in a room full of writers. I'm in a room full of my own kinfolk on my birthday. It doesn't get better than this. For me, I just need to write enough. Write enough. Time elapses in concentric paths, starting wide at the very largest diameter, hypnotically moving inwards. Pain, a teacher. The cold, an even greater teacher. Lessons accumulate, and I speak incessantly, yet remain guarded. An acquired operating system. I never write enough when impediments arise. Obstacles magnify in size. Fear, failing motor functions. My limbs have seen better days. But I reflect as I focus on my breath. My diaphragm swells. Expelled air shifts consciousness. Suffering is real, yet imagined. Life full of dichotomies. Love on the spectrum, a Rubik's Cube, hard to decipher. Not when I learn to write enough. Daily, 3 pages. Love takes unexpected shapes, but only when I learn to write enough. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for Haroon!
I think that was a career best.
So how do you feel? You just finished your set?
It's unbelievable. Yeah,
How do I
it
feel?
changed my it changed, and I read a lot. I read like
Yeah,
I
just
read between
really
12 and 18 books. But yeah, I'm not working.
Grateful, in a state of
I read
bliss.
4 in March.
I think tonight, easily one of my favourite performances I've done. Again, couldn't have done it without Tish and just the rest of the band. So I can't remember all their names, but I think Yakuza was on keys. I think that's definitely a long-term future collaborator there.
Sick.
I'm I feel serene at peace. That's a very rare thing for me. Long may it continue.
No, I've not said happy birthday. Happy birthday, man.
Thank you, man. And this is the second birthday in a row that I've actually spent with you in a car.
Yeah, I mean, at some point we're gonna run the footage back of last year.
That's a Haroon thing.
That's a Haroon thing.
Yeah.
Right, who's having the first bit of cake?
It's not even a slice. It's like an assemblance of clusters. It's like, yeah, that's
Give it to my crummy brother.
cool, bro. Here you go, Jody.
No, I don't want to.
I'll take this one. I'll take this one.
I don't
fuck
mind.
is that?
But it's not a slice. It's just like
What is this?
whatever Haroon
This is
can
not a slice.
dig out.
What is this, bro?
Okay, that'll go to Adonis though.
That's like cake ration right there.
Chocolate for the chocolate.
Wait,
Come on.
wait, is this a white thing? A white thing? You're all getting like major pieces and I'm getting the crumbs.
Nah, get down to Jodie and
It's reverse colonialism.
I'm a minority right now,
You
bro.
little fucking ant.